best friend, the flower, under the stress of the autumn breeze. And he asked, are you paralyzed by pain or afraid of the future? Yeah, there's some truth to that rumor, 'cause I'm a late bloomer. Forget about yesterday, 'cause you're long overdue, yeah. Wish I gotten there sooner. I'm a late
Talking.
All right, because I've been on. I made sure
Do
I
you hear
made
any
the on.
voices yet?
Still don't hear anything?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I hear you
It's
here, all right.
Can you guys hear
three.
me in the broadcast now?
I'm still not hearing it.
By the way, you guys can join. Just join.
Okay, hold on. Can you hear me in the broadcast? James, can you hear me in the broadcast? Can you comment if you can?
I'm in the chat with you.
Randy says he can hear me.
Hold on, let me go check.
We're getting the okay to join, so I'm going to join in.
All right, it's working now. I got it now. I'm watching the broadcast.
Anyway, forget about that whole conversation that we had leading up to this, but we're going to join now into the race, into qualifying, so we can see what these guys are... See if we can get a fast lap.
I don't even know what a fast lap is with these next gen. What are they running, like 50s or something? I don't know. 48s?
Did you get an invite, Nizzy?
Yeah, I'm joining now.
Okay. Bear with us, guys. This is our first night. We're working out all the kinks. We should be all set for next week. So let's see who we have on the track right now. Looks like we have Lugnut, MRL. I believe, if I remember correctly, Lugnut came down from Elite this season into Pro Am. So I'm definitely expecting him to be a contender. We have Snowden.
Take care of that 9-car, Snow does wonders.
Nizzy's saying take care of the 9 car, so we got to make sure the 9 car wins this season. We have Stag Slayer. So Stag Slayer was, I believe, just shy of making the championship for last season. I think missing a couple of races is where he kind of missed out. So I'm expecting him to be, a contender this season as well. We have Smooth Puppy returning. Smooth Puppy is a veteran driver for this league. He's back in the 48 this season. We have Shady Acres rejoining. He is also a veteran of Pro Am. We have Wearing Quill, who I believe was in last season for part of it, if I remember correctly.
I'll try to talk a little louder, JD. I'm on the backup mic tonight.
We have Dave Ace. Dave Ace switched to the number 3 car this season, so
Oh, that's a good car for him.
That's a good paint scheme too, yeah. The Intimidator. We know Dave Ace gets a little rough on the track sometimes, especially with Big Rig.
Yeah, Dave Ace always brings some hot rods, and he's not the most calculated driver. I don't mean this as an insult, but he's kind of Ricky Bobby out there. He just wants to go as hard as he
Yeah,
can.
definitely. We have David Dubois. Hopefully I'm saying that right for all the Canadians out there. Back in the 22 this season. So we have Brewster Baker repping the 41 this season. Like I said, not very many road courses, so I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the season. I hope he finishes the whole season off.
Yeah, if he
We
can
have...
build consistency. He's a very solid driver.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
He can get deep into the playoffs if he goes up, and it's not even just missing points. It's when you're not doing it every week, you kind of lose the muscle memory a little bit, right? So
Right.
when you're doing it every week, it's
Right.
I think he's the type of driver who could be really, really a force if he could just get those laps out.
I would like to see him finish the whole season. Like you're saying, I believe he could be championship 4 contending if he raced the whole season.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we have a new guy, Bulk Crusher ATL, driving the number 42 for Pro Am. We have, I believe, remind me, Nizzy, I think Track Bars joined late last season.
Yes, I'm not. I
Okay.
think my he didn't run much with us, but he was in the league.
Yes. We have Lewis Racing, who is another veteran coming back this season. He's driving the number 78 BJ McLeod entry this season. That's going to be exciting. TCR Bowhunter, I believe, joined just at the end of last season, so this is going to be, I believe, his first full season. He's driving the number 34. We have everybody's best friend, watch out, Rodney's on the track again this season, driving the number 62.
Rodney.
Rodney's another good driver at play track. So you saw last season at Talladega, he won a stage because he knows how to build fast cars for play tracks. But at the same time, as Rodney's going on, he's gaining more and more confidence in his cars, and he's getting a lot of help with like what changes to make the car faster. So there was a couple of times last season that he was contending for the top 5. So I think he's going to be one to watch this season too.
Rodney had a really good season last year. Raced with him now a couple seasons, and a big improvement last year to third
Right.
season. It's good to see him starting to get the hang of it a little more here.
And then we have Big Rig 634 FTR driving the Ross Chastain car. That's like a match made in heaven because it fits his driving style. Big Rig is actually the admin for the Pro-Am series this season. But I'm expecting big things from Big Rig if he can stay out of getting wrecked by other people and other messes. So, and that is your Pro-Am for the Daytona Duels. So it looks like we've got Big Rig and I think Snowden on track right now. I think they are the last 2 to qualify. So what is your... Are you really showing what you have in qualifying, Nizzy, to try to see where you to start further up in your duel, knowing that it's going to get split in half? Or do you sandbag a little bit and wait for the duel to kind of show what the car has?
I don't. I think it's so hit or miss. I mean, at a track like this, first of all, where you start really isn't gonna matter much. But I mean, I want to start up front. You want to put your car up front, and be there. You want your TV time. You want to be looked at as even though it doesn't mean much. You want your car to be the fastest car of the session. So,
Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm not really putting much thought into it. It's more just for fun. But I'm not gonna lie. I made a little bit of adjustments to my race setup to soup it up for qualifying a bit because if I can get that pole, hey, definitely want it.
Now, if you're a new guy coming in to Pro-Am and you have kind of some of these veterans that have, I want to say veterans, kind of like the guys who've been in here for a couple of seasons, are you nervous because you're going against some like guys that have raced together? So when it comes to play tracks, they may work together as like a veteran squad or team. For an example, like for you raced Pro-Am for 2 seasons, and you jumped up straight to the top, and you're going to be racing in Elite. What is as a new guy going into a new group of drivers, what is your mindset going into that first race of the season? Like, they don't know you. They may not know how you drive. Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Well, first of all, let me just throw it out there that I'm going to Elite because of my schedule. Otherwise, I'd be very happy just going up to Pro Am and seeing what I can do. I didn't want it, but it is what it is. Hopefully I can adjust and learn how to drive with them guys. But yeah, I tell you, we debuted, I believe, both of us debuted with FTR the same night at Dega for the
Yes,
season
we
opener.
did.
I don't know about you, man. That was as nervous and excited. I mean, I was so pumped up for that race, but I was so nervous because, like you said, I didn't know anybody. I had, me and Sky Pilot had a bit of a. I guess I can let the cat out of the bag now. We got, Shady's in the race tonight. I tell you, watch out for that 17 car. He's definitely bringing something fast if he can stay out of trouble. But he had been a mutual friend of ours, and he introduced me to Sky Pilot. So I went in there, we kind of had a secret partnership going. But I didn't know anybody. I was so nervous. I didn't want to touch anybody. I was scared to rub anybody the wrong way, literally, figuratively. But man, once we got out there, it was the racing in this league. I tell you, is so. It was within the first few laps, you could just feel the intensity and just the competition was so good, and it's been like that ever since. But yeah, man, I was nervous, but man, I was so locked in that night. I felt like I had something to prove. And then, I won the race, but then it felt like I still had something to prove because I won Dega. It's who's gonna count Dega as, it kind of everyone looks at it as a crapshoot. But I'll segue off of that, and I'll tell you right now, these are some of my favorite tracks to drive. People think of me as such an aggressive driver, and I am, but for some reason, I just really love the patience and the discipline it takes at these super speedways. People talk about it like it's just a complete crapshoot. I feel like even most people, even a lot of good drivers, talk about it like, you can't be good at it. You just gotta have luck. I mean, I tell you what, I've put most of the times I race at these places, unless I get into something completely random, like a wreck, I mean, I always find myself up at the very front battling for wins because I've taken the time to learn how to drive this, learn how to manage the throttle. I mean, and I think I'm looking forward myself personally to seeing how the elite guys drive in Jeff because I think they'll
Right.
probably it won't be as easy as it has been because I think they probably know that stuff too, like how to manage the throttle, how to keep a bit of a gap. You don't really want to. I don't like showing people what I have throughout the race. Like I
Right.
want to use the power I have when I need it to stop a
Right.
run from behind or to make a run. So um, yeah, to be good here, it's you got to be very strategic about it. But then it also is a lot of just riding around. There is that crapshoot to it, of course. But damn, what was the question? I got all.
No, you literally answered the question. You literally answered the question. I think for me, like you were saying, we debuted at Dega. Tomboy is how I got into the officially into the series, but I had raced with some of these guys in like past leagues, and I was kind of like coming from racing in leagues where I was very aggressive because I was the lone guy with everybody kind of together. So I was excited, but 100% nervous. Like you, if I try to make a run, is anybody going to go with me? Hold on one second.
I could have Nizzy back out.
Nizzy, do you want to back out of the lobby?
Oh man, I'm sorry.
You're good. The nerves, but like you said, it's okay to be nervous, but don't let those nerves play into how you perform and how you drive on the track. Like, yes, you're going to see single file. You're going to see the snake around the bottom of the track. Like, that's just how Daytona is. Like, nobody wants to be the one to cause the wreck or, make a wreck or wreck somebody. But if you're a new guy, this is your, time to show, are you just going to sit there and ride the entire race and be okay finishing in sixth place? Or if somebody goes to make a move, are you going to make the move? Because here's the thing. This is also your opportunity to see who you can work with in the 500. You know what I mean? Because you've got to show, am I just going to sit there? And if a guy goes for a run, am I going to hang them out? So don't be afraid to make those moves because you're also building relationships with your new drivers to say, okay, like we can work together this coming season and at the Daytona 500.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like a dance, a fine dance. Like you've got to show a little bit of everything because when it comes to play tracks, you need friends. We all know that. You need friends. I do want to give a shout out. We're in season 8 right now, so our season 7 Pro Am champion just popped into the chat. Aishu, how are you? Have you and Aishu kind of been talking because you two are in elite now? Like, hey, should we work together or anything like that?
No. Well, actually, no, you're not racing.
Oh, I'm already raced. My race is over. I secured the pole and the win in my heat race for Daytona 500.
I'll be completely honest. I'll give you you might not believe me, but I'll give you a very truthful answer. I have spoken to iShoot since the end of the season. We have not talked about working together. But I'm not saying I will not work with him. Certainly not. I'm not saying we will talk until then. I'm just saying that's the truthful answer. We've spoken not about anything to do with the deal.
Right. And the other thing too is it may just become natural for you two to work together because you've raced you raced an entire season together, so it's easier. You two are comfortable with how each other drives. So
yeah, guy can control his car. I'll push him anyway. Control his car. That's fast. Definitely not saying I won't be saying I'm talking. I haven't gotten that far yet. Tomorrow's when I'll get all. I get too, like I said, I get nerves. There's a difference, like you were saying, with the nerves. There's a difference between good nerves and bad nerves.
Right.
Good nerves will get you in that zone. Once it's time, it's like, oh, here we go. Bad nerves. I've had a few nights when I had bad nerves. Those aren't good nights. Right.
And that's the thing too. Like, if you've got to learn how to channel those nerves into focus. Like, we are. I'm excited for Heat number 1. I can't wait to see who's in it.
Looks like we got David. Oh wait, is this disqualifying results that they did? Yeah, those are disqualifying.
iShoot's in the chat saying you and iShoot and Nizzy are going to work together come tomorrow night. Oh, there you go. Confirmation right there on my TV screen. iShoot has said they're working together.
You say so, Shoot. I'm with you.
So it looks like we're already underway.
The card, we were picking numbers, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to get the 9. Eagles is going to take the 9. Maybe there's a chance I'll get the 24. 24 is not too popular. We're going. I'm like, wow, I'm actually going to get the 24. I think goes right before we take the 24. I'm like, I knew he was going to. I knew it. So
Heat 1's already under. So Snowden, if you want to come up into the booth while Heat 1's going on, feel free to join us. So I'm going to go through the listing of guys in Heat 1 and we'll kind of do a little idea of what we're looking at. So right now you have leading is TCR Bowhunter actually won the pole in qualifying for his Heat race. I think he ran like a 46 something-ish. I don't quite remember. So he's a new guy. Obviously Daytona is kind of like, you can't determine somebody from Daytona. It's a plate track. As long as you can stay in the draft, anybody can win. We have Dave Ace. So Dave Ace had some good tracks last season. What are you expecting from Dave Ace this season?
Like I said, big of the same. He's not going to lift if he don't have to. If he ain't going to hit the wall, he ain't lifting. So if you're behind him,
absolutely not. And funny story right now on track, he's right behind Big Rig. Those two have been known to swap paint a couple of times.
Oh yeah. But it's good when you got there's a difference between just complete recklessness and not lack of regard for others, and just being a guy like kind of like a Wrecking Ball is kind of what I was thinking. I'm not gonna say Wrecking Ball. Kind of like a bulldog. Like he's
100%.
out there trying to calculate. How am I gonna get this guy at this? How am I gonna position myself here? No, there's a car in front of me. How do I get around him?
Right.
I'm saving the gas, and I would like to see. I think he's a guy that if he could harness that a bit more and be a little bit more calculated, I think he could put up some more points throughout a season and battle for some more wins and get into the playoffs. But it's fun to watch. I'm not going to tell him to change his style because it's
Right.
it's entertaining.
And like you were saying earlier, the car number matches the driver perfectly.
What's up, fellas?
Snowden, how are you?
Not too bad. I was supposed to mention that we got both drivers up here that we've all had a couple incidents with. So
This is true. The three of us have been we've all had incidents with each other at one point throughout one season.
Right.
But we're putting the driving aside and we're putting our suits on to broadcast Tuesday nights.
Right. Is trying to look at this here, see if Riggs making a comeback. He had a car that was not qualifying come up on the track in the middle of his run on his hot lap.
I caught that on broadcast.
So he didn't get a good qualifying in.
So we...
Can't really feel bad for him.
Yeah, right? So we are now moving on to Stag Slayer. Now that we have Snowden, what are your two's opinion on Stag Slayer this season?
Stag Slayer, I think he's going to be another person kind of jumping into you guys' shoes that left. He's going to be another one that's going to be up there contending. As far as the newer guys, I can't really speak on them because I haven't run with them a lot yet. So as the season goes on here, we'll know a little more on who all is going to jump up there.
And we kind of have a 4-car breakaway. The 6-car of Lugna is having a hard time keeping onto the draft of the 3-car, but we know here, as long as you're within, I think it's a half a second or more, you can keep the draft. Now, are you guys doing a pit stop tonight?
Yeah, because since you guys did it on Sunday, you did a mandatory pit. We just made a mandatory pit for the duels tonight as well. Okay. What are your... just like everybody, because they had some speeding penalties there on Sunday, so we figured we'd throw that in the mix as well, where you got to try to get on pit road.
And just because I have to bring it up, I think out of everybody in FTR, Nizzy is the one driver that knows the best about speeding penalties.
That's a little dramatic, but yeah, I'm definitely top. Not last year. Last year, I think I probably maybe had one speeding penalty. I fixed that problem for the most part. Not perfect, but
I had a few.
I certainly learned from my mistakes and tried.
I had a few, and I find myself now I'm a little too conservative getting on pit road, so I'm trying to pick that back up and not go over.
I was the damn opposite. I was too conservative, so then I started coming in like a friggin' bat out of hell and getting penalties every week.
So we have Shady Acres and Brewster Baker already pitting. Do you think this is too early to be... I mean, they did lose the main draft, so they were just running together. Do you think this could be a strategy call?
I think they're just trying something. I don't know how they lost the draft. I've been following with them for a couple laps. I think they're just kind of looking at it as, well, we lost the draft. You got... I mean, what's the pack? Like 6 cars? What are the chances you're going to get?
Yeah.
Let's just try, to short pit and see if it helps us later on. Might as well try something at this point. I'm not sure.
I mean, I do know quite a few about a calculated pit stop because I've been known to do a couple myself. Sometimes the short pit isn't a bad thing. Like I tell everybody, you have to try a short pit to see if you can gain something at some point. You can't just be that one guy that always stays out to the last second. Yeah, the front, I mean...
Well, they're trying to race each other now with pit road, so I'm a little confused.
See, I don't know if that's necessarily, because you have the main pack behind you. You don't want to fall a lap down, because because that's going to put you even further behind than what just happened.
Yeah, they should have just got bumper to bumper. And
well, now they're bumper to bumper. Yeah. Well, now Brewster's going low again.
Now, if you're the main pack and you see these two running side by side, are you on the mic saying, hey, file in, get to the top line, we're coming?
You probably are. Me, I'm probably...
Because they're there, and we're going 3 wide right now.
I saw that unfolding.
So
Brewster got down and tried to block the whole pack instead of just trying to draft with Shady. I'm not really sure what he was trying to gain there.
Yeah, and the big loser there was Stag. He kind of got put in the middle 3 wide.
Yeah, I mean, they do that in real life, to try to split up the pack, so that way they can kind of blend in. So maybe that's what they were thinking.
Yeah, I just, probably.
So now if you're Shady and Brewster Baker, do you just tag on to the back of this pack and wait for them to pit and see if your short pit's going to help?
That's about all you can do at this point.
Unless, I mean, you can test your car out here. It's really, like I was saying, it's hard to get inside these guys' heads because everybody's got a different approach, right? So, Shady might be out there, and I'm just throwing it out there for an example. He might be out there thinking, well, let me just ride back here, like you were saying, try to get a win out of this. And Brewster might be thinking, let me see what my car can do. Like, this is my chance before the race next week to see what I can do with this thing.
Well, and if you're Brewster, I mean, out of all the drivers that we've gone through already, you're kind of he's the one driver that has the most dust to brush off because he left, I believe, right before the actual playoffs. So he's been away from FTR for the longest out of all these guys. So is he trying to show the muscle that he has to rile these guys up? Or would it just be better for him to just file in, ride, and let it all play out? Because there is a possibility with 6 drivers pitting, somebody may speed or put somebody in the pit road to make them speed.
Right. I think their big thing is they ride here, and when they pit, they can't be battling each other. They need to be bumper to bumper to try and draft as quick as they can to get back around. And hopefully that short pitting, maybe they made up a little bit of time. I don't know how well that's going to work out for them because they were quite a ways behind.
They're very capable of bringing out a caution at some point.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think we run cautions in the duels. I think it's just black flags, and that's it. There's no stages. Can't remember. I don't know if we ran cautions on Sunday or not.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to check with Rick when we set up the next one.
Still relaxed.
So if you're Rig and Bowhunter, are you trying to pit just the two of you and minimize getting hit from behind going on pit road, knowing you have Dave Ace and Lugnut? Dave Ace, like you had said, unless he's forced to use the brake pedal, doesn't necessarily, know it's there a lot of times. I know, not saying anything bad against Dave Ace, but like you said, honing in on that stuff. So are you pitting with everybody, or are you trying to get in Bowhunter's ear and be like, hey, let's pit together so we don't possibly get a speeding penalty?
The more cars you got going on pit road,
I don't know.
The more cars you got going on pit road, obviously you're going to take a chance of somebody running into somebody else and causing a penalty. So ideally, if you can limit how many cars are going on, but you're the lead too, so it's probably going to be monkey see, monkey do.
Now, would you be the type of person to, if you're first and second, float towards the back of the pack to go on pit road?
Really stacked up
there. I don't think I would. You're going to be the first and second on pit road. I mean, you have it in your hands to get slowed down. You just have to hope that nobody hits you from behind, pretty much.
So I think what happened there, I think Dave Ace got the apron going into 3 and 4, and that kind of stacked up the pack. But it looks like the 6 car and the 5 car got around. So are we possibly seeing loose cars?
Loose, possibly. I think it's just so hard to hold the bottom here sometimes, especially when you haven't had a lot of practice. And there are glitches on this track too. Like that's
Yes.
not to like break the fourth wall, but I mean, you know, there's quite a few spots on this track where if you get it just an inch too low, it's like hitting a damn pothole. So
Yeah,
I
right
don't
down
know.
here
I've
in
never
turn
felt loose
three.
or tight at super speedway. Honestly, I've never felt like I had a bad handling car, which I wish they would change maybe for the next game. But yeah, I've never really felt like, oh, I'm too loose or too tight at a speedway.
And I think the
Maybe I have to get
misconception
less and less
too,
skilled.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions at Daytona and Talladega is in order to go fast, you need to be on the guy's bumper, push, 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 push. Where in reality, I forget whoever told me this, but you actually want to leave like a little bit of a gap between you and the car in front of you for the bubble of air to really push the car in front of you, not necessarily you be on the guy's bumper.
Exactly, and also when you're full throttle the whole time, like I was saying earlier, like if you're on a guy's bumper, well, what happens when they line up three cars on the outside and go to get around you? Where's your power to stop that run coming from? You don't have it because your momentum's already built up. So that's why I always like to leave a gap because if I want to make a move on the guy in front of me or if I want to stop a move from behind, I mean I can't tell you how many, and it's also really fun. It's almost like you're teasing the guy behind you when he keeps pulling out and trying to pass you and you just
So,
smash the throttle and
not to
hit the
cut you off, but all 6 drivers just signal to go to pit road. So I'm going to stay on with Dave Ace, which is the last car in the pack, and kind of see how these guys execute pit road. I know when I do pit road, I'm going far towards the wall, like, don't come near me.
well, it was
So
close.
Stag Slayer and Bow Hunter kind of took I want to say the Nizzy approach and kind of like drove it a little further towards the pit road line, where the kind of other 3 guys were way conservative coming on. I'm the type of driver where I'm attacking pit road. If I get a speeding penalty, so be it.
Yeah, there's so much ground you can make there.
Right.
You have to go for it. I mean, you just gotta learn. Me, like we talked about earlier, I was not good at managing it the first season I raced here. The second season I got a little better at it, but you have to be able to push that limit. Otherwise, you're not going to get the spots you need over the course of the season.
So I'm going to stay on with Shady Acres. If you want to stay on with the main pack, they're crossing the finish line now, and they're pushing each other. Do you think there's a possibility for them to catch the main pack?
I don't think they can catch the main pack unless they stay bumper to bumper in this main pack. Well, you got the main pack is really just 3 cars right now,
So we
and
had
then
some
you got
breakup.
yeah. So I mean, gotta see how many laps we got left. It would be quite a feat if they could. I just don't think. I think they're too far behind right now.
Yeah, next race I'm going to put up hopefully somebody's streaming so I can have a lap
Yeah, I'm
counter.
waiting right now. I just gotta wait for them to cross the line.
Yeah, so it looks like Stag Slayer actually jumped Big Rig on Pit Road. So Big Rig lost 1 spot. And it looks like we have Lugnut and Dave Ace that kind of lost the main pack. So with these 3 cars, how many laps do we have left?
I missed it when he crossed the line.
So we'll see
Sorry.
coming this time how many laps they have left. The leaders they're going into turn 1 now.
They're coming out of turn 4, so they're not as far behind as I thought.
I want to say they're about a quarter of a lap behind. How many laps do we have to go?
Oh my god, so I'm trying to look for something right now, and I keep messing up. Keep forgetting.
Anyway, so we know. So let's ask Snowden. So Snowden,
What's it?
if you're in a 3-car pack coming out of pit stops and you're the third car in line, we know that the only way you're going to secure a pole position at the Daytona 500 next week is by fastest lap. So if you're that third car in line, are you kind of backing off and getting runs to try to improve your lap time, knowing that it's just the three of you? So we're coming to 4 to go.
Yeah, I think that. So that way you got a good lap time, and also looking to kind of set these guys up for that last turn pass, coming off of 4 to try to beat them back to the start-finish line. Because if you're the third guy, you don't have anybody else behind you to help. So you're just gonna hope that it goes 3 wide to the start-finish line coming off of 4.
And I think the fastest time for Sunday nights was the lap time. I think was a 46:08. Do you kind of see lobby or pro-am drivers getting that kind of caliper lap time?
Yeah, I seen some guys in the 46s. Obviously out in the draft. I think Rig had some pretty quick times. So I definitely see it being possible.
So we should be coming to 3 to go this time. So if you're Rig and Stag, when do you start kind of maybe working together to build a run to get past Bowhunter?
Well, Stag's going to hope that come down to the last lap, Rig works with him and they drop by. But I'm sure Rig's thinking, well, I want to leave him hanging as well and try to get by both of them.
Well, and so that's the other thing too, is when you have a 3-car pack, somebody's feelings is going to get hurt because they're going to try to go for a run, and that guy may not go with them.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like, you don't have you don't really have any friends at the last lap.
This should be the last lap, Nizzy, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So if you're the top 3, who's making the move? When do you start doing it? Now, coming to the backstretch?
Yeah, but they're not gonna.
Do you think they're just going to be content falling in place?
I have another one because the way they're bumper to bumper right now, nobody looks like they're trying to get a run.
Can we get a lap count?
I think they're going to try it off of 4 would be my guess, but I'm going to have to jump back over here, fellas.
Snowden, thanks for joining us. Good luck. Where are you starting in your heat?
I'll be the starting first in the
Here they go. Here's Stag laying back.
Yep, so this is the last lap right here. We see Stag Slayer is going to lag back. Now, is Big Rig going to go with him?
I don't know. That 34 is trying to block. I don't know if I would do that right now, but he's.
I don't know. Yeah. So I think the other thing... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. They're trying to find a hole. They don't really... Yeah, see, Stag couldn't get... Oh. Rig just kind of...
Now, if you're Stag Slayer, do you leave Rig out to dry like he did you?
What's that?
I said, if you're Stag Slayer, if Big Rig tries to make a run, do you leave him out to dry?
That's it. They're not going to get Bowhunter. That's a great,
blocking
by Bowhunter. That is, I mean, to be able to pull your car up to the top on 2 cars in the middle lane, in the corner on the last lap, and not have them get down under you, that is really good blocking by that 34, I must say. I expected, when he slid up the track in 1 and 2, I expected them to get right under him.
Yeah, that's calculated blocking.
He timed it perfect.
Yeah, that is a guy that you know that has been in that position before. Like, knows how to get into the high lane to block that guy, but like you said, also not let the guy coming under him get a run and be able to clear himself back down.
And he totally killed their run. Like, once he got up there and stopped that momentum, the two of them, it became a race for second place, and you saw what happened. They came on the backstretch, and it was like they were just frantic, the 5 and the 1, just frantic, trying to find a way around the 34. Because at that point, their run was done. It was probably, I mean, maybe they probably could have backed up again and went for another run in 3 and 4 or off of 4, but they seemed to just keep trying to push it, stay in the throttle, try to get around him. And then Stagg looked high, so Big Rig had that opening on the bottom, and he just bulldogged his way through there and got second. But 34 stayed clean the whole time. That was
so it looks like
nice lap from
it looks like Lugnut got a 46.251 in this race. So now we got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, Bow Hunter's time is the one that matters.
It's actually the person who runs the... Yeah, sorry. So Bow Hunter ran a 46.662. So we got to keep an eye on that because he... Depending on who gets the fastest lap in the other lobby that wins, that'll determine the front row. So now there's going to be a short intermission while we get Duel 2 set up. So what did you think kind of overall about Duel 1?
Well, kind of what I expected. Guys very patient, just a lot of riding around. Yeah, there wasn't much going on, to be honest. I hate to word it like that, but the last lap was pretty exciting, so I don't know how much we can really put into, it's going to be twice the field next week, I don't know how much we can really put into the type of racing we're seeing in these races, but, it was, at least it was better than, they stayed organized, I like the patience as much as it's not as entertaining to watch, I like the fact that they did stay disciplined, they stayed focused, didn't get too over their heads, all antsy and stuff, so.
Right.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Lugnut, how are you?
How are you? Not bad, you?
How'd the car feel?
My car felt great. Actually, the nerves didn't get a hold of me, so yeah, I'll take the fourth and wait for next week.
Were you kind of just happy riding in place?
No, I was scared shitless the whole race, so I was happy with what I got.
Nice.
All right, you guys have a good night.
You too, thank you.
All right.
I believe after Rig gets Lobby 2 set and ready to go, he's going to be joining us in the booth. Which, that should be exciting.
I'd like to hear his perspective of that. I saw contact with I didn't, but there was just so much going on. It certainly wasn't anything. It was last lap stuff, but I definitely want to hear how his point of view was on that last lap.
I definitely want to, too. Like, what was he thinking? What was he waiting for? Was he going to make a move? Who was he going to work with? Those are all good questions that we may never know the answers to. So are you expecting Duel 2 to be the same? Or are you thinking, because like ours, Duel 1 was kind of like this, but then Duel 2 is where the guys got really racy. And we're looking to make, moves and stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping they get racy here. I'm hoping they saw that, was like, man, what are these guys doing? They're just riding around. And then they saw the last lap, and I'm like, all right, I think that might have given them a little bit of a, sparked a little fire in them. And now they want to get out there and do some racing. I hope so.
I'm hoping. I mean, we do have Snowden in this race. Snowden's not one to just ride around. So I will be looking for Snowden in the 9 car to be making moves.
Looks like we'll have Bulk Crusher, Snowden, Track Bars, Booze Puppy. 1 second. Lewis and Rodney in this one.
Yeah, we're just waiting to get the join.
So no Kendricks tonight.
Yeah, that's interesting. And no Punk Panda.
Well, Punk Panda hasn't been... He didn't race for a while.
Yeah, there are guys, if they don't make the playoffs, they tend to go away, but... Sorry for the dead air, guys. We're just waiting.
Yeah, I wish I had an idea to fill it, but... Actually, maybe I do.
I'm just quiet because I'm thinking about what I'm making for dinner after this. We will not be playing country music like Big Rig did for Sunday night. That's an absolute not happening.
That we're ready to go trackside for the opening ceremony.
Are we getting the join? I'm saluting my television. Is this like 2005?
I don't know.
Because it said Dodge. It said Dodge. They said Dodge.
What did I just get into?
We're trackside, okay? Be quiet.
Oh man, you guys are playing make believe up here.
I hate you. You're kicked out. I hate you. You're booted.
Yeah, who's wearing the princess gown?
Me.
We had nothing else to do.
We weren't going to play country music like you did.
That's what it was hip hop with country music. Like, calm down. It's good stuff.
Who's giving us the join?
They're supposed to be sending us joins. I have a join, so I can join and invite you to. Anyway, how about that race, huh? Bunch of bottom feeding. That was great.
I know. The one person
qualifying.
Hold on. You got wrecked.
Why didn't you guys go low?
I went low. I was like, see ya. See ya, Pi.
Yeah, you did.
The one thing we do have to talk about, we got to get the elephant out of the room.
Why?
The driver of the number one car is always like, take the run. Don't bottom feed. I want to see action. So what was going on in that race?
Nobody wanted to go anywhere, and I was in third place. Like, I'm like, all right, whatever. I also called that out. Like, it gets to the point in this game where you try to set things up, and you're like, all right, we can go up top. And then you go up top, and nobody goes, and you're like, well, that was dumb.
Do we have the join yet?
I'm aggressive, but I'm not moronic.
Still no join?
I didn't get a join yet. I didn't get no join.
I need another invite if I could.
Yeah, I know, because you jumped in there way too early.
Well, so let me ask you, because all of my 10 subscribers, we're already up to 10, want to know, were you planning on pushing Stag to the win?
No, I was going to dump somebody.
Kind of what I figured. But the other question is, are you excited that you didn't get walled by Davies?
100%. 100%.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna just join them and see where they're at.
Ross Chastain, Dale Earnhardt, the matchup.
What's your guys' stream name?
Oh god, guys, they're on lap 2. Like,
Shack Attack TV. They didn't say join.
I know, they gotta get better. We gotta do better.
Jeez, Pro Am, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
The
I know.
star drivers are gone, and it's all falling apart now. Jesus.
Is that what you thought you were?
A star driver? Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think so. We are going to miss
Anyway,
iShoot, though. And
we
then
are.
There's you. And then there's you.
I hope you crash out on the first lap of the Daytona 500.
I don't even know if I'm going to make it. I might be on vacation. So.
Well, that's probably a good thing for them.
Good talk.
Gay Days will have to find somebody else to wreck.
Never mind.
I think he's picking a few guys already.
Never mind.
Anyway.
Luggy, you got the invite, right, bub?
Yo, yes I did. I'm getting ready to join right now.
Yo, Luggy was out there and he was throwing down. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's why I like to see that 9 car out front.
Oh my god, let's not get used to that, okay? I have to say, and Big Rig, you can tell me to calm down.
Yeah,
I'm very upset that nobody in Pro-Am took the 31.
Well, there's a reason.
Dude, do you realize how sticky that seat was? Nobody wanted to sit in it, man.
That is a winning championship caliper car.
Dude, the shifter was a phallic instrument. No, we're not playing in that car. It's not happening. You
what are you talking about?
31.
I took the 31 with me. I gave you guys a new one, and nobody picked it.
Nobody wants that piece of crap.
Oh, at least nobody's driving the 11.
That's true. Nobody likes the 11 car.
Jesus.
I tell you what, though, Snowden's
back
out
to the
front,
racing.
Look at that 9 car cruising.
So, are you hoping for a little more action this race? Let's go through the field. Feel free to pop in and say a couple of things about each guy as I call them out. So we have Snowden, returning driver, has been here for many, 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 many moons. What are we expecting?
Perfection.
For him to win it.
Listen, he's one of those guys where he can put the car in the right place at the right time. But he's also one of those guys when he shows up, if you don't have bad luck, he has no luck. So it's all going to depend on if he can find the happy ebb and flow of driving his balls off and not putting himself in predicaments where his car is going to spin 12 times.
Right. 100%.
If he had all the trophies for bad luck, he would have quite a few.
Yeah, dude. I've seen him have the best race of his life and then get spun in the 3rd stage. Like, oh, all right, see you, Snow.
See ya.
But he always fights his way back. I mean, it's not like he finishes poorly. It's just he always finds a way to not be in that top spot. That's his thing. And I think this year he's going to knock that off and he's going to win some races. I think so, too. I think I'm going to win some races, too. But anyway,
back to these guys. So now we're on to track bars. What are we thinking?
Track bars? I raced 3 times with track bars. He still owns 2 of my bumpers. So
great. Let's go on to the next driver.
Gonna need those back.
We have Lewis Racing driving the number 78 this season.
Luggy and I have turned so many laps with Lewis Racing. Like he's gonna finish okay. He's gonna do his thing. He's one of those guys where it's still a video game and he has fun.
Right. And forgive me for a second. You may call me Mr. FTR or Billy Holcomb. But like Billy has said, in order to be good and have a good result, you have to put the practice during the week into your car. And leading up to this event, you should have been on practicing with the guys that you're going to be racing with to know how they are.
I didn't see most of these guys.
Right.
I ran like over 1,000 laps this week.
Yeah, we had some good practices.
And feel free to jump in, Nizzy. I said feel free to jump in.
Yeah, with all of your... talk about all your eliteness.
So now we're on to Smooth Puppy. What are we thinking of Smooth Puppy?
What's that?
What do you what are your opinions on Smooth Puppy?
He's just like Lewis. Like he's one of the guys that shows up there. He says sorry if he hits you. He tries to put his car in the right spot. He drives real hard. He's usually up towards the front. So I'm excited to see what he could do now that we have the format that we do. I mean, the real thing was a lot of these guys. Yes, it's a game where we tell guys to practice all the time. Some guys can't.
Right.
Those road courses really ate into a lot of guys' seasons.
Yep.
Because they just couldn't. They would have bad luck on the ovals, and they would have worse luck on the road course. So, you know, what are you gonna do? No, you're
good.
What
is your YouTube channel?
Shack Attack _ No, hold on.
Buddy, Shack Attack. Send it to you.
Yeah,
do it to
it's
my
in the
Facebook,
chat.
Big Rick.
Well,
that don't do me nothing.
But yeah, Smooth Puppy is that driver. Like last season when he did race, he was consistently top 5 to top 7.
Right.
Like he's another driver that knows where to put the car and when and where to put the car at the right time.
Terry.
So now we're moving on to the number 20 DeWalt, where we have Wearing Quill.
Yeah, we do. We have him.
Anyway, moving on.
No. Listen.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I gotta get something off my chest. I snapped in qualifying because he did a bonehead move.
I saw it. I caught it on stream.
I have never had that ever happen to me. To get wrecked on the last lap of qualifying. Like, all right.
I mean, did it really make a difference to your lap anyway?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I was running 3s in qualifying. Like, okay. my qualifying trim was pretty damn fast. I got wrecked, and I was like, well, there goes that. So, and that's where one of those things, that was a freak accident. But if some of these guys, the newer guys to the league, if stuff like that happens, in their head they're going to go, why am I even qualifying? Why am I practicing qualifying? Right. So I amended the situation right off the rip. I said, if you can't pay attention during this portion of the race, maybe this isn't the right league for you. And he was like, I am sorry. I'm like, I get it. All right. Right. Still doesn't fix the fact they screwed up my lap and I should have been on the pole. But anyway, it's okay.
Next driver.
We're good.
On stage, we have David Dubois. Because the S is silent.
He is David Dubois. He's a solid driver. He's one of those guys, he's been around forever. He got a win on one of the tracks a few years ago. He's basically like Ricky Rudd of the FTR group. He gets one win every 10 years.
So we're seeing a lot of guys getting shuffled out. Sorry to cut you off. But we're seeing a lot of guys getting shuffled out behind Snowden.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing you run into on this track. If you have your nose down and they have their nose up and you try to push them, you will get this horrible wind movement over your car. I recommend that drivers all crank that nose up so that you can suck up in draft and also cruise around the track. With the old cars, when you did that, you would get a serpentine to your car. In these versions of the cars, what's happening is you can actually stay locked in the corner. See how the guys are bumping around? There's probably 2 different setups right next to each other. Oh, gosh. 62 and the 22 are beating the
the 22 is pitting. So I want to say one thing while we're still on David Dubois. And I think Rig and Nizzy can speak to this as well. He is the type of driver where if he's a lap down car, he always is polite and manages to move out of the way and not really take effect to what's happening with the leaders.
Yeah, I'd give him that. And when he realizes his race is over, he doesn't push too hard. He's not gonna ruin your race because his race is shot.
But I do have to commend him too, because he could go 500 laps down, but stays into the race until the end of it. He never backs out of a race, even if he goes laps down.
That's a good trait to have, and we kind of try to recommend that in FTR. Like, we want guys to stick around, run around, and like be here, because at the end of the day, we're not just a race league, all right? We have YouTube channels. We have guys building content. We're trying to keep the sponsors entertained, and when you have 6 guys on the track because 5 guys got into a wreck and everybody left, race looks like crap.
Right.
Dave Dubose definitely should have acted like he had a flat tire, came up in front of McLovin and got the push. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I can't. Anyway, On to a new driver that I'm not familiar with. You may be familiar with. Bulk Crusher ATL.
He seems like a nice guy. It's going to be one of those things of watch and wait, see how he does during the season, and really figure out his driving style. He doesn't look like he is extremely aggressive at this point, but again, I mean, it could. Like, it could turn into it. He definitely is on the nicer side when it comes to chats and all that. But turning laps with him, I mean, we only ran a qualifier and he was pretty okay in there.
Nice. And then we're on to your absolute favoriteest FTR driver.
McLovin.
Well, no.
Oh.
We're on to Rodney.
Lucky, you want to talk about this one?
Nizzy, do you want to take the lead on Rodney?
I already talked about Rodney. He's another guy. Him and I was gonna say, like I said about Rodney, how much improvement he made last year compared to the season before. I mean, David DeBose, same thing. And just everything you said just about David DeBose, spot on. Just always, even the previous season.
Oh damn! Someone's in the dirt. That's the 62 of Rodney.
Speak of the dead. That's that announcer.
Sorry, my bad. I'll go to the next car.
Commentator curse.
Oh my god.
No, speaking on Rodney, I get what you're saying, Nizzy, and you're correct. One thing Rodney did the past few weeks was really try to get more acclimated to his wheel, and it's showing. He's actually able to keep a steadier line. He's working at it. He's trying. Now he's just got to get the timing down with where he puts his car.
You said the key word right there, though, Rig. He's trying. That's
right.
When I've lost my temper on some of these guys, and you feel bad after, and it's not. You hate that it happens, but it's an in the moment, heat of the moment competition thing. But guys like that, David DeBose, Rodney, Smooth Puppy, Lewis. Lewis is a really fast driver. He's in the front a lot actually when he does this. But
right, 100%.
Not to take anything away from those other guys, but I mean, here's the thing. Like, I'm pretty good at this game. I never raced a car in my life. I never part of my language. I don't know nothing about cars. Like, I just have the time, and I've gotten, guys don't have that time. But you see the improvement at their pace. And that's all I think you can ask for is guys that show up, they try to improve as best they can, they try to be respectful, try to stay out of the way when it's not their night. And there's a lot of those guys in this Pro Am series.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
that's
oh
why
shit.
It drives me so crazy when you get some of these very few who just don't show any effort to respect the people around them. It's very few and far between. Most of the guys that stick around aren't like that. Most of these guys that you see here, that you've seen their name the last couple of seasons, at least the ones I've raced with, they're really stand-up guys.
100%.
Really
now, dude, and that's what it is, Nizzy. And you say it, you were busy. You know what I mean? Like, you have a great talent on this game. You're fast every time you hit the track. If you had more time, like how some guys have the time, I could easily see you being mediocre. Like,
wow. Anyway,
I think I could. I wish I could try.
Nah, you're good, man. Listen. The whole reason why I went to when it was the C League was because you guys, and then I became admin, and now I'm kind of here. Like, that's just how it works. But I more or less came down here because of Nizzy, Shackett, Snowden, and now it's cool because I get to rekindle like friendships that like I haven't had for 2 seasons. Like Luggy's hanging out with us all year. Like, I'm excited about it. He's pissed off, but I love it.
So not to cut you off.
You're gonna though. We're gonna pick soon. I know.
We have 3 cars out of the front path. We have the 22. 20 just
20.
20
what?
down, the 42 turned to 20. I think the 20 might have. I don't know.
I don't know what happened. I know they signaled.
Got the apron. He got the apron.
Yeah.
The 12 and the 40. Well, a couple of them had signaled to pit, but anyway.
Well, let's call that action real quick. So the 42 out in no man's land right now, and it looks like the 12 is coming down pit road. The 20 stayed out. That might have been a mistake.
I would have went in.
Yeah, I would have pit it on right there because the
you were already there.
The 42 saved it after that. It didn't knock off too much. It looked like the guys in the back checked up. He might have lost 5 car lengths.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's spot on with his pit strategy, he could make that up going in the pits, and basically do like what the 5 did to me when I was just trying not to kill people and he drove past me. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, and the other thing too is this is all learning. You know, the 20 may now learn for the 500. Like, if that happens again, just bite the bullet then and pit.
Right, because you're riding around by yourself out here. You
Right.
don't need to do that. There's no reason to. I'm happy. I mean, looking at this, McLovin is he's riding, doing his thing.
So
And
I have to get something.
Oh, wait, go.
I have to talk about this because I'm getting really hot and really bothered.
Oh Jesus!
McLovin is my daddy. Just had to
Nice.
say
Okay,
that.
we got weird. Cool.
So we were seeing pit stops. All these guys signal to pit.
Right.
Are you on the mic saying, "I'm going here"? You're going. Where are you going? Don't run me
you're
over.
calling it out. If you don't call it out, you're not doing it right. And McLovin did the right thing there. He went way out, swept in, and he actually made up like 3 spots.
I do want to point something out, though. If you look, Lewis actually gained a little bit on Snowden. Do you think Lewis could come out in front of Snowden on pit exit?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
This is a 3-second pit right here. All right.
Right.
3
Just
seconds.
gas and that's it. You're gassing it and going.
When it's a 15-second pit and it's like 16 to 17 seconds, not a big deal. You're at like 3 seconds, 3.2 seconds right now because it's nuts. These guys are coming out and they are just as tight as you would want them to be.
So I do want to point out,
right.
Snowden and Lewis broke away from the other guys. Smooth Puppy and Balka lost a little coming off pit road. But if you're the 12, do you not pass these guys and hook up with them?
If I'm the 12, I'm finding friends because he looks like he's stuck back there right now. Yeah, the 12, by the time he gets to them, they're going to be up to speed. I mean, I would much rather get on the back of these guys and rocket them. First and foremost, because he's been out for an extra lap. Who knows how much fuel he put in.
Right.
You're going to want to just grab that draft if he can get it, because remember, these guys are drafting already, so they were gaining, as he was gaining. Mm-hmm. And it looks like he may have actually caught it, so from that point, he should be able to grab that. But like I said, Track Bars is a super aggressive driver, and he could do something with it. It could be a 3-on-3.
What happened to DeVos? Why is she separated?
He pitted by himself.
Okay.
Yes.
20 car is coming onto pit road now.
What do we have for laps left? Can somebody get us a lap count?
I don't even know who's streaming out there, buddy.
I don't think anybody is.
I'm gonna be the lap count for you guys. Like you're gonna be looking at my stream, yeah.
So if you're McLovin, with like 4 or 3 to 4 to go, are you just sandbagging and letting those 2 go by themselves? Because we know McLovin's not racing for points.
We're gonna have this talk now. This is exactly what McLovin's job is out here. Him and I spoke about this 1,000 times. If he wins the race, he wins the race. I don't care. If guys get their feelings hurt, that's on them. What I'm looking for him to do out there is to be my second set of eyes at all these tracks. We have 27 guys on the roster, and I'm going to need a second set of eyes. Right. He's my eyes. When he's on that track, I told him, dude, drive your balls off. Drive your balls off. Now, there are going to be some tracks where, he is extremely good at it. He is a pro league driver. But in saying that, he's also not going to push the issue. You're never going to get spun out this season by the 8 car. He's out there. No, I never would. That's my homie right there.
So there's an
like
example right there. David was becoming a lap down and completely pulled off the track to let the leaders go.
Right.
And I believe Lewis is lagging.
Oh man. Oh yeah, he is left to right.
We're
Oh, and
3
he
wide.
put McLovin up in the wall.
Oh.
If I'm
So
McLovin, I'm getting behind the laggy car.
I had to race those 2 Pro-Am seasons with McLovin on the track with me. It might have pissed me off at times, but at the end of it, I would have been very happy that he was.
How much better are you going to get having a Pro League guy out there with you every week pushing you to be your best?
It'd be fun. Like, if you're the guy finishing second to him every week, it's like, yeah.
You know what, though? When
Is
you're
it
at the
over?
top of the point, that's the end of it right there.
Did the 78 win?
Both mentally. Oh, that's the end?
I think Lewis Racing won.
Man, I thought you were telling me, like, yeah, that's the end of it. You speak in facts, bro.
No one's ever telling you that.
I think Lewis Racing won.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I don't know what I was talking about.
So I do want to get the 2 winners from both duels up here.
Yeah,
so
I've
we
already
can talk
spoke
to
to
them.
them. I'm going to jump into that chat and let them know to come up here. Thank you guys for having me up here.
And then
what?
I will message you because I do want to get the pole sitter. Or no, it's going to be between the 2 winners. So
yeah, I got to. Who won that race?
I think it was Lewis.
I got to go find that out first.
Well, we're going to calculate everything, so we'll go from there.
Give me a second. I got you.
Looks like McLovin did last somebody jumped out. Oh no. Where is it? Yeah.
Well, Lewis is slower than.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We'll verify and then we'll announce it when they get up here. After we do interviews, we'll announce who's the pole sitter.
All we need to know is who's the winner.
I know, but I can't. I don't know if it was Snowden or if it was Lewis.
Big Rig will let you know in a sec.
Yes. So we saw a little bit more racing there than the second one, which on Sunday it was the same way. The first one was calm. The second one there was a lot more racing.
Yeah, a lot of those guys watched the first race just to see what was going on. I think so. Both races were good races.
Let's see when we put these 2 fields together. What kind of
Ooh. Like I said, these 2 races were good races.
We're just waiting on the 2 winners to come up. I think, who was it that, it was Bow Hunter that won the first one.
Yes.
Yeah. He had a 46.
If somebody can invite Bow Hunter, if they have him on their friends list.
Holy crap, boys.
What?
Bow Hunter got the pole for next week.
Cool.
Shut up.
Who won this race? Snowden?
No, Snowden won.
Yeah.
But Bow Hunter put down a 6.62 and
Listen,
Snowden did not.
I had a whole plan for this. You ruined it.
Sorry. Whatever. Sometimes that happens. Anyway, run with it. Talk to your guys. Do I need
Can
to
we get Bow
invite
Hunter
somebody
in
to
here?
the booth?
Bow
You
Hunter.
guys have a good night.
Bye,
See you,
Luggy.
Yep.
Trying to get them here.
You're staying here for interviews too, by the way, Big Rig.
Get the fuck out of here.
Excuse you?
All right, I'm
We
staying
don't
in
swear
here.
on this channel.
Yeah, right. That sounds like horseshit to me.
Anyway, Nizzy, go ahead. Let's interview Snowden first while we wait for Bow Hunter.
Well, alright, come on in. You here, Snowden?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man, I don't really, like I said, I just messaged you asking you that Lewis win. Because we didn't see the last lap, so I don't really know what to ask you, but I mean, you were out front for most of the race there, it looked like. I was trying to kind of look at the back of the pack with my camera, and Shaq was paying attention to the front, but anytime I looked over, it seemed like you were leading, and, pit stops happened. I think Stag got in front of you, is that what happened? Stag got you on the pit stops, and then eventually, who was it? Lewis got in the picture, and really from that, after the pit stops, I kind of missed what went on. We missed the end there, but yeah, just let me know what happened out there. How you feel? What the racing was like?
Yeah, it was
Definitely
decent
let us know
racing.
what actually happened.
Yeah, it was a decent race. I mean, it was the big draft train. We didn't lose. We didn't break up as much as the other one did. I think we lost DeBose there. But yeah, the pit stop. I'm not sure who was in the 8 there. Got in there a little better, but I ended up coming out of the pit in the lead. And Lewis had run with me the whole race there, and coming down there to the last lap, Lewis had McLovin there to give him a little help, so he jumped outside there, and Lewis ended up getting into McLovin, and
We
it
did
put him
see
up
that,
in,
actually.
yeah, and it got him up in the wall, which allowed me to be able to side draft back past him and just beat him to the line.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. So I think we were just seeing Lewis ahead after the checker. So okay, so you had pulled in front of him after McLovin hit the wall, and you were stayed in front of him then.
Yeah, because once he lost his help there, I really got on the side of Lewis there. I actually bumped him, give him a down it there, coming to the line, which I was able to squeeze back past him.
Gotcha. So how you feel, man? I mean, I know you don't really particularly like this type of racing. You're a guy. You don't like to ride. You don't like to draft. You like to go and pass it whenever you can. So how are you feeling after in this duel? What's your mindset? How do you feel like the race is going to go for you next week? Is it going to be better than you usually view these things, or maybe worse, or is it just kind of the same? Oh, here we are at the Super Speedway again.
No, I'm still the same way. I mean, granted, I like being out front, obviously, but I also like the racing. So next week I think we'll have more cars, obviously, so then we'll be able to work having the outside line, and I'll definitely be game to go up there if I have any friends to go with me and make a race out of it.
Just don't take my word for it. From what I've seen from watching some other races, I think with these next gen cars, that highline work is a little bit better. Just saying, don't take don't blame me if it don't work. But I'm just saying, you won't want to see it. Watch me, so go for it, man.
I did some practicing, and we've done some running up there, and that high side does work pretty good. So it just depends on how many cars you got in each lane.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the win and front row starts, and hopefully you can stay up there and stay out of the trouble, and get yourself off to a good season here this year.
Appreciate it. That's the plan.
Big Rig, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, Snowden, great race out there, buddy. Thanks for handling that lobby and everything. That looked like, I mean, we were right back in form out here. I mean, I know it was a shorter race, but seeing some of the newer guys out on that track, what did you hear in the chats? Was there a lot of chatter, or were guys focused up pretty good? What was going on out there?
Everybody seemed pretty relaxed. There was guys talking, just calm, talking back and forth, and it was a good race. No complaints.
Gotcha. Well, dude, hell of a run out there, man. It was pretty fun to watch you out there. So can't wait to race with you whenever I can.
Same.
Yeah. I'll see you,
Congrats,
buddy.
Snowden. Can't wait to see you in the 500.
Appreciate it.
Bow Hunter, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
How are you this evening?
Oh, not too bad.
You won duel number 1.
Yeah.
And before we go into your interview, I do want to congratulate you because you are sitting on the pole for the 500 next week. Does that put in some more nerves knowing that you're sitting on the pole for next week?
No, not really. I sat on the pole for that duel. Just ran my race.
So let's talk about the duel. I think you were in the same spot that Snowden was. You kind of led from the start. How'd the car feel? Do we have any changes that we may necessarily need to make?
No,
Run us through your race.
Car felt good. I just knew I had to stay clean and not give any openings. The pit stop was a little iffy. I didn't know how that was going to go.
Right. So, knowing that there could be double the amount of guys next week, are you taking a cautious approach, or are you hoping just to stay in the front most of the race?
I'm going to try and stay in the front most of the race and stay out of trouble. That's the big thing at them super speedways. Especially with these cars, because once you lose the draft, you're done.
Do you feel any pressure to kind of show, like, to get an early win, knowing that you're a new guy coming into Pro-Am?
No, I've raced in and on and off in this league in the past. So I pretty much know some of the people in here.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Nizzy?
That was great.
Nizzy, do you have anything to add?
I just want to know about that last lap, man, because you went into 1 and 2 on that last lap, and they tried to eke high, and you were having none of it. You put the car right up there, you left the bottom open, and I thought they were going to dive under you, but you managed that run from them so well, and you managed like the air and stuff to just be able to pull up there where they couldn't get under you. I can see it happen, and it was like, and I've never seen you race before. Your name does look familiar, but I don't really have any knowledge of you, and seeing you hold them off on that last lap, like he knows what he's doing. So I just want to know like what you were thinking and how that just what was going through your mind, and how you were able to hold them off on that.
I was
up towards that middle lane and blocking their run.
I was just waiting for them to knew they were going to back off to make a run. So as soon as I seen them start backing off, I started backing off just a little bit and just let them get close enough. And then when they start backing off again, just kept that distance and just did not let them get that run.
It almost got to a brake check situation, though. Let's not lie to them. So we were doing 170.
No, because if you would have brake checked them, they would have went low. That's why I think it was so impressive. Because
there was a moment.
Stop in the middle of the corner like that. That's hard to do. Oh wait, you were actually in it, right? Oh, so you think it was a brake check? My bad.
Oh, dude, no. That was. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you, and he like somebody said it in the room. We dropped a 170 behind him, and I literally called it out as we're crossing start finish. I go, "You are so dumpable next week because of that move." Like that is not gonna be tolerated. Like I'll put it out there that it will not be tolerated in the race next week. You go to 170, you're gonna see an infield wall.
Oh yeah, I know that. I knew it was only the three of us, and it's like, okay, if I can just stop that little run, I should be good.
For that little bit right there, you did good, man. That was a fun race. Justin.
Yes, sir.
You and Nizzy did a great job. I just got thumbs up from people.
Thank you.
You guys, for your first night up here, great. We'll work on some stuff over the week.
Yes, we will.
And Nizzy, I would like you, let me know your schedule, man, if you could ever fill in, because you're entertaining as hell. So just let us know, all right, buddy?
Yeah, no, I definitely will. I'll keep you posted anytime I can. Hopefully.
Awesome. Now we got a dogfight. Anyway.
I do want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight.
Nice.
Thank you for being there with us on my first official night of broadcasting.
You did great.
If you're out there in the chat still, be sure to share this link, because this is your home for all Tuesday night racing here on Shack Attack TV. We are going to bring you every race this season and all the racing that has to come with it. I want to thank Nizzy for joining me in the booth. I appreciated it. Big Rig, thank you for putting on a great season opener for these guys. Thank you for kind of like taking over Pro-Am.
No problem.
I'm expecting big things from Pro-Am, because last season, and I think the season before, Pro-Am was known as one of the cleanest, caution less lobbies out of all FTR, but I'm looking for great things for this season with you guys.
Well, I'm pretty sure Dave Ace is running a full schedule, so that shit won't last.
Probably.
But,
anyway, while we wrap this up, bring us into our sponsors for Pro Am this season.
Well, let me just hit all of them. We got Wheels on Wheels. We got FTR Custom Designs. We got Van Winkle and Napa Auto sponsoring the leagues. MeetAPeach.com. It's from Middletown over there. And he's a little under the weather. He'll be up here on some Tuesday nights with you too. So just want to thank our sponsors. Real happy we got this. And tomorrow night you can tune into FTR hosted by Big Rig with my man Luggy up in the booth tomorrow night chatting about stupidity and having ourselves a great time. But before we go, McLovin, you still in here?
Yeah.
How'd that race go? How'd that go, bud?
It was fun. These guys did a pretty good job at just running a clean race. Look forward to seeing what happens next week.
Hey, I told them all before you even got in there. I said if they don't like it, they could bounce because all you're doing out there is making these guys better, and I love you for that, man. So thank you very much for running in Pro Am this season.
Yeah, keep me off the cameras a little bit more though. Give those other guys. So someone called me daddy today in the stream, and just call Snowden your daddy. He won the race. Check it.
Sorry.
Well, maybe Snowden will be his daddy. All right, thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
And I'm off.